What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Rundown, episode 59. We have a special...
That's almost 60.
That it is. We have a special edition of the midweek wrap-up because this was part 1 of 2 of Ultima Lucha this week.
Was it?
So we're going to be changing up the order. We're actually going to give Ultima Lucha technically our main event spot, which is usually left for NXT. But
because NXT is usually the best ever.
Yeah, but Ultima Lucha, it's a big thing for Lucha Underground. It's their season finale. So we're going to give it the last spot. But we're still going to start off with Tough Enough. I only watched Tough Talk, so all I know is that Mada got eliminated because The Miz, who is now taking the place of Hulk Hogan, gave the save to Amanda, who should have gone home. She only got 13% of the votes. Paige hated her for it. Paige hated him for it. The crowd hated him for it. Miz not making any friends on Tough Enough.
Standard Miz.
Now being a judge. It's weird. I don't really like Byron as the host of Tough Talk. That was like the best thing that was going on, and Miz was really good at it.
Yeah.
I don't like it now.
Well, Miz is good at talking shit, so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Mada got taken out, but I feel like, based on the fact that the crowd liked him, Paige was really into him, he was a popular person on the show, he's definitely going to get a developmental contract.
Yeah, I liked the idea behind the drill they did in the Performance Center this go-around.
I didn't see it.
What they did is they ran spots in the ring, and the spots were called by Billy as they had speakers in the Performance Center blaring audience sounds.
Oh, so kind of a real-world match feel.
Yeah,
like,
trying to make them feel like here's the pressure of like, can you handle, calling your spots, or like get it, can you think on the fly when there's so much loud stuff? Because what it was like he was kind of giving them rapid fire instructions while they were trying to hear him through all the excess noise they were piping into the Performance Center.
Was this while Cesaro was there, or did you happen to see like what his whole deal was?
Cesaro was at the earlier portion of the show during the first challenge.
Okay. Where
they were doing this like rope bridge type thing.
Oh, another like obstacle course.
Yeah, and Cesaro ziplined in.
Hmm.
He had a very grand entrance.
Maybe it was probably WWE posted on their Instagram and their Facebook like a video of him like on like some sort of harness or something where he slid down, whatever.
Ziplined his way into the challenge.
Yeah. Well, regardless, Mada got eliminated, which is unfortunate for the show, but I've lost most of my care for the show, so I have a feeling now, with the fact that ZZ is being called out as being lazy, and Sarah Lee even said he's the laziest person at the Performance Center. He's the laziest person in the bunch. I feel like he's like making a heel turn in the show, and so maybe he's not the favorite to win on the guys anymore, and they're kind of like putting it back towards Tanner, because he's got like this awkward relationship that he's got going on with Chelsea. So, I don't know.
Who knows?
It's scripted. Let's move on to main event, where we open up with Barrett versus Neville for match reasons.
Yay, match reasons.
Now, going into this match, I thought, okay, this would be perfect. We got Barrett, who's trying to be back on a winning streak, just earn the right to his crown. He beat R-Truth in the kickoff to Battleground.
He did.
We got Neville, who's feuding with Stardust. Stardust is a little creepy, likes to get involved, cause a little chaos.
Okay,
you think
I'm following you here.
Stardust would get involved, cause a distraction on the part of Neville. Maybe Neville's going up for the red arrow. Stardust causes a distraction. He gets down, gets bull hammered off the top rope, and Barrett picks up the win, right?
I mean, logically speaking, it all makes sense.
Yeah, but instead, Neville just won straight up with the Red Arrow, with no
Clean win.
not even a post-match like, "Ooh, I'm coming to get you, Neville" by Stardust. Nothing.
Nothing.
Why? Like, you just completely negated both these guys' storylines for a match that we've already seen 12 times.
Yeah.
Why?
Because main event.
Oh.
That's why.
Well, you know what else because main event? We had Bo Dallas taking on Zack Ryder.
He did.
And that means
I'm a believer.
Zack Ryder's losing.
Poor Zack.
He tried, but
He
unfortunately he went for the Rough Rider. Bo Dallas did a lift over his head, and Ryder came down right on his ass.
He tried the Rough Rider, but he got roadily roughed.
Rough. You want to try that again?
Nope.
All right.
I meant what I said.
He landed on his ass. Bo
He
Dallas picked it
got
back
some
up.
road rash.
Hit the running Bodog, and Bo Dallas picks up the win.
Bet he did.
But in our main event of main event,
Whoa, main event has a main event?
not only did main event have a main event, but it was a Divas main event as Becky Lynch took on Brie Bella. We had an earlier promo from Becky. She was excited. She wanted to.
She had butterflies.
Yeah, she wanted to prove that
however she said
she wanted. Yeah. That Irish way of speaking.
Yeah.
She wanted to prove that the NXT girls were there to make a statement in the Divas division, and she gets to do that going against Brie Bella. Brie talked a little shit because she's Brie, and they both agreed to leave their teams in the back. It was just going to be one-on-one, no outside interference. It was a great match too.
It was pretty darn good.
I appreciated it.
And they kept their word. There was no interference.
Absolutely not. Lots of good work on both parts. Brie working over Becky's arm for a lot of the match. We know that that's been a focal point of Becky as far as her opponents going after her for probably the last few matches she's had ever since her title match against Sasha. It's been the target as far as Becky Lynch goes. But it wasn't enough to keep Becky Lynch down because Brie would go for what, Magistral Cradle? Is that what that is? She had like the hammerlock through the legs and then the roll up. Went for the Magistral Cradle. Becky kicked out and was able to actually flip Brie over onto her stomach and put the disarmor on Brie. She gets Brie Bella to tap out once again
And
to
yank
the
her
disarmor.
arm off.
What?
No?
What?
Did I just imagine that?
I think you imagined.
Alright.
That I don't think that would be on TV.
Depends on what channel you're watching.
Granted, we did watch this on Hulu. I don't know what the Hulu rules are.
Yeah.
There
There are no rules on Hulu as long as you get your ads in.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Maybe Brie did lose an arm. I don't know.
Could
Did
have.
Brie lose an arm? Post down in the comments.
Please say yes.
Well, we're gonna move on to NXT.
Hey, I like NXT.
Yeah.
They do cool things there.
And you liked NXT's Open because we get to see the Mechanics.
Yes.
Mechanics taking on
Dash
Enzo
and
and Cass. I assumed this was going to be another one of those Enzo and Cass get beat down, make the comeback, big win for the face team. But instead, Dash and Dawson pulling out the win.
Stealing a move out of the Cruise playbook with that assisted lung blower.
The flapjack lung blower. Whatever. Good lord.
The shatter machine.
That's a stupid name. Change that shit immediately. Cass and Enzo were getting ready to go for the Amore missile. Cass ends up getting pulled out of the ring and thrown into the guardrail. Cass, while he's down, Enzo gets out, starts chasing after Dash.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, he's got one arm and he's running after Dash.
Looking goofy as fuck.
And then Enzo gets clotheslined like a motherfucker by Dawson. He gets tossed back in, gets hit with the shatter machine, and the Mechanics pick up the win, opening up NXT.
Maybe it's a machine that hits you so hard that you shatter everywhere.
I feel like that's what they're going for, but it's still
Like
stupid.
You like shatter in your pants.
They just okay. They have to add the extra letters because they can't.
Yeah.
We had a little backstage promo. Jordan and Gable talking themselves up, saying.
Well, they're not so much talking themselves up as talking the other teams down.
True.
Saying that the hype bros are boring.
Yeah. What was the other one? Can't remember. There was another team they talked about. It was.
Enzo and Cass.
Oh yeah, they don't need to pump their fists and talk in rhymes to get themselves over. And Jordan refuses to finish the line ready, willing, and Gable.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Me either.
In our next match, former TNA wrestler Jesse Sorensen makes his debut on NXT and gets completely squashed by Baron Corbin.
In about 10 seconds.
Gets kicked in the gut and then hit with the end of days.
And then pinned.
And then it's like, hey! Well,
that was a guy who had a name from another place.
Yeah. Good job, Jesse.
Making strides in the world.
Tyler Breeze still wants an opponent.
He does.
For TakeOver. And William Regal's like, you know what? I'm looking to the ends of the earth for someone, and I've got a great opponent for you.
Christopher Columbus.
I think he's dead.
Damn it.
Or he's discovering America or something. I don't know. Something like that.
That sounds like a fancy place.
Is it? Post down comments.
Just open Pandora's box. America.
Anyway, Jordan and Gable, as we talked about just a second ago, they end up going against Elias Sampson and the big guy. We never got his first name. It's something Valenzuela.
It's like Levis.
He's a big, tall Puerto Rican dude. He got signed around the same time Uha Nation did, and a lot of
some Ricky Ortiz hair going on.
A little bit, yeah. They made a good team though. I was impressed with their work. I was more impressed when Jason Jordan did the overhead belly suplex to Valenzuela because that dude's fucking tall. But Jordan and Gable picking up the win with what did they fucking? I didn't even write it down. Because it was another
brand something-y.
Their assisted
the
assisted back suplex. Jordan and Gable picking up the win once again.
It's awesome. 2 tag team matches with 2 great double team finishes with really weird names that need to be simplified.
I don't think it's the teams that are naming it. I think it's Rich. Because usually, that was the thing back in the Attitude Era. It was like the commentators would come up with a name, and that's kind of what would stick because that's what people would hear. And I'm hoping it's just like them just throwing shit at the wall, just like trying, and that's like he's like. I hope there's no one that's
better have
like,
some disinfectant for that shit.
I hope there's no one that's like convinced this is a good idea because it's not. It's bad. We had Dana talk some shit. She's going into a match against Charlotte. She is just saying that she deserves all the things that Charlotte's getting, and she's gonna prove it.
She's serving Charlotte an eviction notice to get off of NXT.
Well. And then she almost didn't pat Devin on the head, then she came back. She's like, no, just kidding. And Devin's like, really?
Seriously? Oh my god.
Alright.
Shoot.
You talk about the next one.
Match or segment?
Segment.
Alright, bullfit. That's a thing. We got the chronicle of the history of Bull Dempsey's apparent maybe eating disorder. Or
maybe?
Who knows what it is. No matter what way you look at it, it's Regal saying, hey, clean up your act, kid, or you might get punished or kicked off of NXT or something.
Yeah.
And he decides he's going to start a new training regiment called Bullfit.
If you can call it a training regiment.
Hey, he ran up a partial flight of stairs and then stopped and then walked the rest of the way.
And then he climbed a rope while he was on some other guy's shoulders.
Yeah, he's helping the other guy work out. Yeah, it's got something going for it.
You sure about that?
He needs to try the Simon system.
You're gonna lobby for that this whole.
Hey, think about it this way. How hard did I lobby for Bo Dallas to team with the New Day?
Yeah, don't remind me of that shit. I don't.
And so I'm going to start lobbying for Simon Dean to make a return to help out Bull Dempsey. And, you know, it's going to happen.
Okay.
Weeks and weeks later. You know, I'd say Buddy Rose if he were still alive. He had a similar gimmick in early days.
That guy gimmick?
Yeah.
Really?
We had this, like, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like this powder crap you could put on any food and then eat it and you wouldn't gain the weight. So to cut the promos, like eating a bucket of fried chicken, but as long as he poured the powder shit on it, it wouldn't make him get any fatter.
I hope to God they don't do this with Bull Dempsey.
But,
man.
you know, Buddy Rose, he's no longer with us. So I'm going to have to settle with Simon Dean.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Nova.
Then we had Charlotte taking on Dana. Dana really needed to prove herself in this match.
Didn't.
Yeah.
She proved that she could let Charlotte beat her up.
Yeah, this was like all Charlotte. And then like right when Dana
there was a Dana rest hold.
Yeah, and Dana had an upper hand for a second, and then she got speared, and then Emma got knocked off the apron, and then Dana got natural selection, and Charlotte won.
Yeah. Go Charlotte. Go Charlotte. It's not your birthday.
It's not her birthday.
Nope. She can still party if she wants.
True.
She's on a tap-out commercial.
Yeah, she is. She's also on the main roster now. Samoa Joe addressed the fact that he's got a match next week against Rhino.
Yeah, take on Rhino.
Yeah. Pretty much, he says, you know, the reason he's in NXT is because he wants to be NXT champion. Now, Rhino has said the same thing, and now they're going to clash next week, and Joe says that Rhino is the only thing that's standing in his way of the NXT championship.
That he knows of.
So Rhino, he's coming to choke you out. Very, very Taz in this promo. Very Taz-esque promo.
Well, we know that they spent some time together in TNA.
Down in Florida.
They even had that bit where Taz was like his mentor for a minute.
That's right. Forgot about that.
That Mafia era.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah. That was a thing.
We had Kevin Owens apologize for what happened.
He had to apologize for hitting Regal.
Yeah.
He whacked Regal during the contract signing.
Yeah.
You know, if you hit your boss, try and apologize.
But William Regal still wants to watch him get the shit kicked out of him. And he's hoping that Finn Balor does it at TakeOver.
I don't think Regal accepted the apology.
No. We also have Eva coming in talking about her win last week and that she wants the NXT Women's Championship and Sasha better watch herself.
You know, I'm all for giving Eva a chance to shine and develop into a good wrestler.
Don't put her after the fucking title already.
Yeah, you don't need to be letting the championship belt be part of her promos yet.
It's way too early, and she has not proved herself that much. She just proved that she doesn't suck in the ring still. Then we had with Martin Stone, who's a guy that you were aware of.
I've heard of him. I've seen bits and pieces of the guy. But nothing I saw he did to Kevin Owens, because he didn't do anything to Kevin Owens.
No, there were bits and pieces of Martin Stone after this match because Kevin Owens would beat him a la the pop-up powerbomb, and then would actually give him the apron powerbomb, as we've seen him do to Neville and Sami Zayn, and I think
John Cena.
John Cena, Alex Riley, which I think was your favorite.
Yay! I remember that.
Yeah, Kevin.
Do Mojo next. Do Mojo next. Please?
And then Bo Dallas.
No.
Yeah.
Bo Dallas is on the main roster. Leave him alone.
Owens can go to the main roster.
He is on the main roster, but he's dealing with. Who's he dealing with on the main roster? Cesaro. He's dealing with Cesaro. Don't do it to Cesaro.
Don't do it to Cesaro, please.
But do it to Mojo, please. Especially interrupt him while he's doing that stupid dance.
Please. For the love of God. Then in our main event, we had the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line. Number one contenders, the VOD Villains taking on BAMF, the Blake Alexa Murphy Factor. This was a fun match.
Badass mother whoops.
Badass mother factors.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a good match. I like this a lot.
A very positive showing for the Vaudevillains.
Yes, and still a really good showing for the champions as well. You know, they were
a lot of new stuff out of Simon Gotch.
Oh my gosh.
Good chant.
That's one of my favorite NXT chants right now. It was, you know, the Vaudevillains got to showcase a lot more than they normally do. This was probably the highest profile match they've had in a good 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
So good for them. Unfortunately, they didn't get the win. They were setting up for Whirling Dervish on Murphy, but when Aiden went off of the ropes,
which is something he normally doesn't do with that move. So they're getting too fancy with it.
He tries to go off the ropes. Alexa grabs his leg.
He's like, "What are you doing, small blonde girl?"
Murphy's able to get his wits about him, tosses Gotch out of the ring, and then rolls up Aiden and holds the tights for the 3 count. Blake, Alexa, and Murphy Factor retain the tag team titles. Then we had a little, it was an interesting situation in the ring.
Yeah, well, the Vaudevillains were mad, so they freaking just booted the Blake and Murphy part of the thing.
It was just the Alexa Factor at this point.
It was just the AF.
She's
She's got a nice AF.
She got a big old laugh. Alexa is in the ring just yelling and just...
They start jaws circling around her.
Like I got full on Dudley Boys feeling. I was waiting for the grab of the hair.
All of a sudden, I started thinking of the Shield. Because they did that around the ring.
Right.
I was like, what are they going to do?
Like, if this wasn't PG, like, she would have gotten Whirling Dervished.
Yeah, or second rope sit-out powerbomb through a table.
If it was the Dudleys.
Yes.
But it's like, they're starting to circle, like they want to beat her up, and then the crowd starts chanting chivalry.
Yeah.
And so they go, okay, and they both hold up the ropes and try and let her out of the ring.
And she gets all mouthy on them.
Says they're pathetic, ends up
Slaps
slapping them both, and then she saunters out of the ring, and it was an awkward situation to end the show.
Yeah.
Especially with the fact that nothing could happen to Alexa. But could there be a potential that we're going to get a girl for the Vaudevillains to match up against Alexa? Or are we going to bring one of the new girls up? Like,
I wouldn't mind, you know.
I think it would be
there
cool.
There needs to be a female vaudevillain. Not really. There doesn't need to be a female
No.
vaudevillain. But there should be a female to help them out.
Yeah. It would
Not say, you know, you gotta say in NXT there is no lack of female competitors. You know, so
yeah.
they've got plenty. Somebody can
Blue Pants.
Somebody can spare a minute to help out the vaudevillains.
Blue Pants should cosplay like old-timey something.
Blue Pants should just put a twirly mustache.
Alright then.
Weirdo.
Are you okay with that? Post that in the comments.
Blue Pants with a twirly mustache?
Oh my gosh. Let's move on to Ultima Lucha Part 1.
Part
This
1
was-
of 2?
This
or
was
1/3 of 3/3? If you're counting by the amount of time they're putting into this.
Yes, this was the first hour. We had the first 3 matches. Next week we get a full 2 hours with the last 5 matches. We had opening up, we had the Falls Count Anywhere, Cage taking on the Mac.
Well, we had a weird
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
segment with Black
Okay.
Lotus. And
Okay. So here's
she's trying to do CrossFit in the jail cell.
here's the thing.
She's getting
So
on
we got-
the bullfit bandwagon.
No, she's not. We've got Lotus in her cell.
Do pull-ups.
She's got like adjacent cells to Matanza. That's his name. You were asking what his name? Matanza Cueto. So we find out from Dario Cueto that it wasn't actually Matanza that killed Lotus's parents. It was actually the guy that's been training her, El Dragon Azteca. He's the reason that they were killed. He just blamed it on Matanza. So now Lotus is feeling she doesn't know what's going on at this point. She doesn't know what's right, what's wrong, who's telling the truth.
I'm gonna be real. I think the one thing that I think has been a consistent factor through the entire first season of Lucha Underground is don't trust Dario Cueto.
Yeah. That's
So
like
if you buy into his rhetoric, Black Lotus, you're stupid.
Well, she started punching that concrete wall extra hard afterwards, so
So hard, especially how fast she was going. It looked ridiculous. It looked stupid.
Anyway, then we had our Falls Count Anywhere match. These guys whooped the shit out of each other.
Yeah, the Mac versus Bumblebee.
Yeah. Cage with his new black and yellow singlet.
Black and yellow.
I knew you were gonna do that. Fucking hate that song. But whoever wrote that, if you want to sponsor us, so what?
Not a Steelers fan?
Just not a fan of that song. Well, no, I'm not a Steelers fan.
The Green Bay boy.
I am a Green Bay boy. But yeah,
I'm
so
okay with that.
Cage attacked Mac.
Green and yellow, green and yellow. See? It works. You can change black to green. And the ducks.
Cage attacked the Mac while he was on his way to the ring.
Didn't even let him get down the stairs.
No, they were right at the top of the stairs. They immediately started beating the shit out of each other up there.
They went to the platform above the commentary table.
Which had been reinforced since the match between Phoenix and Mil Muertes. We know all about that power bomb right through the ceiling. They end up making their way down to ringside. Cage ends up spearing Mac through the door in that particular little...
No, Max ripped Cage.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because then
Cage was down going, ow, my elbow.
Yeah. They start fighting in there. There's a couple weapons. Cage ends up finding a fire extinguisher and blasting Mac in the face.
He got a good whack on him with a chair at some point.
Yeah.
Gnarly chair whack.
Stop signs and 2x4s.
Yeah.
And
Mac broke a 2x4 on Cage.
there was all kinds of shit going on in this match. Mac ends up doing the sit-out powerbomb from the apron through the table onto Cage.
Yeah.
They end up fighting their way back up to above Dario Cueto's office.
Yeah.
Where there's some...
It was a garbage can. They got spine busted.
Yes.
Well, Cage got his spine busted on the garbage can. Garbage cans don't have spines. Don't listen to me.
They could.
That would make that move way more painful. If that garbage can also had a spine.
Yeah. But
he paralyzed that garbage can. That garbage can is never going to work again.
Damn. There were also some cinder blocks up there, which after Cage...
Leftovers from Seth Rollins' collection.
Cage ends up getting the advantage back and suplexes the Mac...
Superplexes.
Yeah, superplexes the
Using
Mac
the barricade
over the barricade onto the platform. He ends up grabbing one of those cinder blocks and curb stomps the Mac's face right into the cinder block, this allowing Cage to pick up the win. So as far as our point system goes, Kevin Hawk is officially up 1 because he picked Cage and I picked the Mac because I'm stupid.
The one thing that became apparent to me from the end of this match is that it's obvious that the curb stomp is not a move in Cage's regular repertoire.
No? You saw the obvious flaws in it?
Yeah. He didn't know what to do with the feet. He tried and then gave up.
At least he tried, though.
Yeah.
He tried to change it up a little bit.
He tried, unlike the people who fashioned the cinder blocks out of styrofoam. What was good, like, Cage tried really hard to make it look convincing, because, like, he drug the cinder block across the ground, but it left, like, chalk dust looking smudges on the thing, and then, like, after he curb stomps him, like, the referee slid and accidentally kicked the other one, and it, like, bounced. And then it bounced every time he hit the top of the thing for the pin.
I didn't notice that.
It was a bouncy ass cinder block.
It's rubber cinder block.
That brand new bouncy concrete.
Yeah.
Safety in case kids fall on it.
Yeah, don't you know about that, bro?
Nope.
Do you know about it? Post in the comments.
Bouncy cinder blocks.
Then we have the Trios Championships on the line. Team Havoc taking on the Disciples of Death. Disciples of Death have brand new masks.
Yeah.
You want to let everyone know your names?
Silver head, purple head, Mexi Dust.
This was tornado rules, so no tags necessary. This was just all-out fucking chaos.
Yes.
With
a lot going on.
With some shoddy editing.
There was some shoddy editing. There was at one point Evilise had Mexi Dust like pinned to the floor with her crutch.
Yeah, she was beating the shit out of him with a crutch.
And then like the camera angle changed and he was in the ring getting hit by Son of Havoc.
Yeah.
And then we had
that one wasn't so bad because I could think like maybe she was beating him up and then picked him up and tossed him in.
Yeah.
But then the next one was a little.
Son of Havoc was in the ring with all three members.
Hit Trace and Sinestro
with a double back elbow, knocked them down, and then all of a sudden, the one who was standing and watching in the ring is halfway up the crowd with Angelico.
Yeah. They ended up fighting up towards the one of the platforms. Angelico ends up getting taken out up there, and then all three of them.
He gets back suplexed on the bleachers.
Yeah. Oh fuck, man. Ow. That would hurt so bad.
Where the asses house the seats, the bleachers that house the asses.
The asses house the what?
The asses house the bleachers. It hurts to watch Lucha Underground. You need to put some bleachers in your ass.
What?
Well, the asses house the bleachers. That's why I've never gone down to a taping. I hear like, oh, great wrestling, bad seats.
You have to put bleachers in your ass.
It hurts. You have to house them in your ass.
Anyway, the Disciples of Death all start beating up Son of Havoc on the outside, and then, a la every other Trios Championship match we've had, Angelico flying from the fucking rafters, crossbody to the floor, taking out all three members. This leaves Katrina a little worried. She ends up coming around and be like, alright, we need to get up now. She gets in the ring.
Gives him the pallbearer treatment.
Yeah, does the raising of the stone. They all start to stand up. And then Evilise gets in and goes, hey, bitch! And they start fighting. And it's just beating the fuck out of each other. Unfortunately,
Katrina hits her in the head with the rock.
Yeah. I said, hey, hit her in the head with a rock. And I was talking to Evilise, but Katrina heard me and she hit Evilise in the head with the rock.
So that's a good idea.
And then Mexi Dust
hit her in the head with Dwayne Johnson.
That's what I see Katrina pick up the rock and
no, that's just what they nicknamed the stone that she
used.
Dwayne
Johnson. Gotcha. Yeah, the shot by Katrina with the stone leaves Evilise knocked out.
Mexi Dust picks up a pin.
Barrio Negro, I believe is his name, ends up getting in and pinning Evilise. The Disciples of Death become the Trios champions, and Katrina licks Evilise. That was cool. And Katrina's halfway there to get the gold that she's been wanting.
Yeah.
She's just got to wait next week to see if Mil Muertes can beat Prince Puma. But our main event of part
we
one.
We both got a point for that one, too.
Yes. Yeah, so now it's 2-1. Now, for our main event, of Ultima Lucha Part 1, we have the Believers Backlash. We have Drago taking on Hernandez.
Got a lot of crowd people getting entrances.
Yeah.
Cool. It was like
cool crowd
a
people.
fat, ugly hoe train.
With only one woman.
With one chick. She was it was the reverse hoe train. She was the
godmother.
The godmother. And her man hose.
But Dreadlocks guy came out first, who kind of looked like a fat, like Godfather let himself go.
The lead singer of POD had too many cookies.
Something like that. Yeah, so they're all armed with the leather straps. We got Drago, we got Hernandez out there. Match starts. Hernandez ends up getting tossed to the outside first. And
he gets whipped in the
they
forehead.
fucking unload on Hernandez. He's got from the beginning of the match, he's got this giant pink fucking.
It looks like he's wearing a pink headband, but it's not actually there.
Oh my god! Just immediately gets whacked in the fucking face. It's just all bad for Hernandez at this point.
I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of a dick, and I feel like I would have whacked him on his entrance. Like, on his way to the ring, I probably would have whacked him. They might have kicked me out for that.
Yeah. It becomes apparent immediately that none of these people want to whip Drago.
Yeah, because Drago gets tossed out, and they just help him up.
Yeah, it's like, hey, man.
And then they start chanting his name.
Yeah. So, Hernandez pretty much walked into a handicap match.
Yes, a 21-on-1 handicap match.
And he,
I'm just estimating there was 20 people there.
We get some more in-ring spots. Excuse me. Some more back and forth stuff, and every time Hernandez gets tossed out, he gets whipped to shit.
He does eventually do the border toss to Drago out of the ring,
taking out some of the fans.
Yeah.
Fans. That's the one thing that I like about what they did here is that Matt actually mentions on commentary that insurance waivers have all been signed. All these people know exactly what they're getting into, so
in case they get hit.
So Hernandez can punch them if he wants to. So I'm glad they at least covered that base. It's not like, oh, we have these 20 random fans and we're like, hey, you can whip the shit out of these people, but oh, by the way, you're going to get Drago tossed on your head. So that was
one of them did.
Yes. Good cover there. But yeah, so Hernandez gets a little bit of an advantage, but then it just becomes more and more apparent that he's just fucked at this point. He ends up crawling under the ring to hide from the fans and from Drago.
When he pops back up, all of the people have gathered over there because they know he's coming out.
And Drago has pulled out a table and set it up over on the other side of the ring.
They chased him to the table. He gets splashed through the table.
Yeah. Drago wins splashing Hernandez through the table, then tossing Hernandez in, and then doing the same splash to him inside the ring.
Sans table.
It's that I'm just gonna jump and let all my weight hit you. Aerostar does it. Rey Mysterio did it a few times after he stopped doing the
Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, It's 100 and some odd. It's 180, 190 pounds probably, just crashing down on your chest.
Probably nothing for Hernandez though.
Probably not. But Drago picks up the win. Hernandez
he'll probably lift 150 pounds just with his pecs.
Probably. Hernandez got fucked up. It was not a good night for Hernandez. But we both had a point for Drago, so he is now up 3-2. This is not good. We have 5 matches next week.
And 3 chops on the line.
Yes, this is the first time that we've had a wager as far as points go when talking about a pay-per-view type show coming up. before we get into part 2, we did end with El Dragon Azteca trying to get into the temple.
He was.
Guy in a white hoodie who apparently is another
Kung Fu Ninja Ghost.
Another protege of his.
Lucha Ghost. No, Kung Fu.
They talk about a prophecy.
Oh, speaking of Kung Fu, also Drago had nunchucks.
Oh, that's right. And he broke them on Hernandez's head.
Yeah.
That was cool. So white hoodie guy tells Dragon Azteca that he's not allowed in the temple. Prophecy says that if he goes in the temple, he will die. Dragon says, "Hey, you know what? It's cool. I'm gonna go in there. I gotta save Lotus because
maybe I will die.
If I do, at least my name will live on. But I have to try and save Lotus." So white hoodie guy lets him in. Door shuts. Keep out sign. Lights go out. White hoodie guy's gone. So we'll hopefully find out what's going on with this next week. But part 2, we have the following matches. We have Alberto El Patron taking on Johnny Mundo. Major grudge match in Lucha Underground. Been building for a while.
What about Tejano versus Blue Demon Jr.?
Yeah, the grudge match for who is more Mexico.
Yes, the winner is the most Mexico.
Another grudge match that has been built up fairly quickly. Vampiro coming out of retirement to take on Pentagon Jr.
Absolutely, that one's gonna be fun.
And then we have our other 2 title matches. We have the Gift of the Gods. We have Phoenix, Sexy Star, Jack Evans, Big Rick, Bengala, Aerostar, and King Cuerno, all vying to become the Gift of the Gods champion, which they can cash in a week in advance for a title shot, but have to defend it when it's not being cashed in.
And then the Lucha Underground Championship match, Prince Puma, who's been the champion since the inception of the title, is defending against Mil Muertes, who will also have the Katrina lady in his corner. And she'll
be holding Dwayne Johnson in her hand.
She's proven already that she comes in handy during a title fight.
That she does. We've got, let's see, we're differing on
2 more matches, I think.
Two out of the 4, or 2 out of the 5, and we have backup picks for Gift of the Gods, just because there is 7 people in the match. Yep. Both of us going initially for Phoenix, but if Phoenix doesn't pick it, I've got Sexy Star and he's got King Cuerno. And whoever gets the most,
Baby man. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.
Follow the links in the description.
All the links. There's a Facebook,
Tumblr, Twitter,
Reddit, Instagram, and emails.
God,
my email personally, and the group email, fanstalkwrestling@gmail.com. And there's also a playlist
over there.
If you look at it, it's gonna have a Raw.
A Raw.
It's gonna have a Raw.
It's gonna have this midweek.
This midweek's gonna be on it, and then in the future, it'll
be
also have
SmackDown.
SmackDown rundown and an indie news.
Anna Thomas's top 5.
And Anna Thomas's top 5.
Because we about to start August, bro.
Yeah, end of the month. There's gonna be a top 5.
So thanks for watching. Thanks to all the people that have been liking and sharing on Tumblr. Join us on Facebook where we post all kinds of stuff. We just posted today that unfortunately, as far as the Divas division goes, Layla has announced her retirement. So go on there, leave some love for Layla. If you're going to be a dick, stay away from it because we don't like douchebags. I mean, if you want to attack us, that's fine. Don't attack Layla.
Because Ricky Ortiz will rally towel you to death. He will find you and he will rally towel you to death.
He has a specific set of skills. He will find you and he will rally towel you. Thanks for watching the midweek wrap up. We'll see you guys later.